Hey yo, what up YouTube? It's Toasty Time, and on this episode I'm going to be talking about my experience with the drug accutane. I didn't start getting severe breakouts with acne till I got to about like 7th grade, and then it started getting really bad. I got to a point where people would go out of their way just to talk about how bad my face looked, and people to my face would say really fucked up things to me, and that really hurt my confidence as a person, and it really bothered me. So I ended up going to the dermatologist, and she's prescribed me with a lot of creams and pills that I could take to help get the acne to slow down and end up curing it. But nothing really ever worked that I was given, and it just progressively got worse over time. I mostly had like really bad blackheads around my nose and pustule acne all around my face, and whiteheads just covering me from all over. People would literally look at me and tell me, and they'd say, your face is absolutely disgusting, and no one wants to have that said to them, especially in junior high when you're trying to make like a bunch of new friends and meet new people. When I would talk to people, I felt like they were looking at my acne more than they would be looking at me. Like their eyes would go off and like look around my face instead of just looking me in the eyes when I was having a talk with them. After a while of like dealing with this, my dermatologist ended up telling me like, hey, you might want to try this new drug called accutane. Accutane basically shuts down your oil glands and dries out your whole face, so then you can't be like producing new acne, and it slowly fades away. It's a government issued drug that you had to go through like a lot of steps and procedures to actually get the drug, and it's a 6-month process that you have to take in pills, and it completely dries out your whole entire face. You experience cracked lips, bloody noses. There's the side effects. The amount of side effects that they have and tell you before you take the drug is insane. It's a huge list, and I really looked at the side effects and I was like, damn. But like my acne was so bad, and I was already going through so much problems and so much bullshit that I shouldn't have been going through. So I just decided, hey, fuck the side effects. I don't care. I'll do anything at this point. I ended up I said, hey, I'm gonna do it. So I told my dermatologist that I'd do it, and she prescribed me with Accutane. And I ended up taking it in the beginning of 10th grade. I started taking it in 10th grade. And everything was cool. Like the first 2 weeks, like it was cool. And then out of nowhere, after a couple more days after that 2-week period, like so maybe like 3 days, I ended up breaking out. One morning I just woke up and I ended up having this crazy reaction to the drug, and I counted on my face 77 whiteheads all around my face at one time. And I woke up the morning and I was like, Mom, please, like I can't go to school. But she said, look, like we don't know what else can happen while you're on this drug. Like this might not be the worst of it. Like you have to go to school. So I ended up going to school that day, and I held my head down the whole entire time. Like I didn't want to look anybody in the eye. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. That's how bad it was. It was really bad. It's just covered everywhere, just absolutely everywhere. And like people would look at me and like in disgust, and that really like started breaking me down as like emotionally, because of how disgusting I looked and how hideous, you couldn't look at me. I actually did have pictures of the 77 whiteheads on my face, but I ended up deleting them because I didn't even want to have the pictures on my phone. Like when I think back now, it's like, damn, I wish I could have had those pictures so I could show like people like, wow, like look what I was. But it wasn't. I couldn't. I deleted them, and all those pimples would form where my old pimples were, so it would just create more scarring and more problems. After the first month, I ended up having side effects of depression, and I wouldn't leave the house, and I wouldn't hang out with my friends anymore, and there were so many like good parties that I ended up missing out, because while you're on this drug, you can't drink. And you can't drink because one of the side effects is it affects liver toxicity, and the alcohol, if you have alcohol consumption, it could enhance those side effects and make them like a lot worse. So I wasn't able to drink, therefore I didn't want to go out to any parties because I already didn't have any confidence. And if I couldn't drink, which is what obviously everyone's doing that in high school, so I was just like, I'm just gonna stay home. I was getting like really depressed. Like I would rarely leave the house. I wouldn't even want to talk to anybody in school because I didn't want them to look at me. I was so like self-conscious of myself and my face, and I really just didn't want to have to deal with that. So I ended up becoming really depressed, and I stayed home all the time. I would just play Xbox. I wouldn't go out. And at the time I was also experiencing other side effects like really bad bloody noses. I would have the whole sink covered in blood just because it dries out everything. So there would be cracks all over my face, and it was really bad. It was a really rough road. It wasn't about until like 4 months into Accutane where I actually started seeing an improvement in my face. A lot of the acne was starting to fade and go away, and I wasn't getting as many breakouts as I was before. And after that, it actually started progressively getting better, but I still was experiencing depression because the drug, one of the side effects is depression. I started doing out of school activities like by myself to help stop the depression. I ended up doing MMA to start getting some confidence, and it was really dry in the place, so when I would end up sparring with somebody, they'd like hit me in the face and my nose would just start bleeding. They'd be like, "Oh dude, like I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean to hit you like that, I didn't mean to hit you that hard." I'd be like, "Nah, you don't get it, like it's not that, it's not that." I also had to go through blood work every month to make sure that my white blood cell count was in order and it wasn't going too low, because then I wouldn't be able to fight off like disease and infections and stuff like that. And at a time where I got to like 5 months in, one time I got my blood work and my blood levels didn't come back well, and my white blood cell count was below average, and they had to pull me off of the drug for 2 weeks. After that 2-week period of being pulled off, I saw an extreme improvement in my emotional aspect of it, and they wanted to put me back on to finish out the process, and I was like, no way, yo, like no way, absolutely not. My dermatologist understood, and she said, okay, we're just gonna cut you off on this, especially because we don't want to cause you all those problems. And my mom and dad agreed, so I was off of that. And my sister was also on Accutane at the time, and I also do know other people who have been on Accutane who did not have these same experiences I did. I think everybody's different, which everybody's body, how they handle the drug. It's a completely different experience all around, definitely. Unfortunately for me, it was really bad and a really rough road. It was definitely one of the hardest times of my life, definitely, to have to go through, and really difficult. But after that, I ended up talking to the dermatologist, and she didn't put me back on, and the acne ended up going away. It kept on working over time, and all my acne, as you can see, it's clear, and now my skin, it looks really good. And a lot of people would be like, bro, like, why would you even do that? Like, why would you put yourself through that? And not gonna lie, that was probably one of the greatest decisions I've ever done. Not having acne anymore and being able to go out and be confident in myself and be who I am, and not have to worry about what people are like, worry about people looking at my face. It was a great decision. After all the side effects and all the bad things that have happened to me, the whole entire journey and the whole entire road was definitely worth it. If you do have severe acne and you really feel like there's no hope left, and people are like saying things, and you know, like, you can tell, I highly recommend, even though the side effects could be bad, I highly recommend going through this process, because at the end, when you're finally done with it, it's all worth it at the end. And the 6 months actually goes like that when you think about it. It's definitely worth it. I definitely highly recommend it. And for anybody who ever makes fun of anyone with acne, think about what you're doing, because you really don't know how hard it is to have acne and not be able to do anything about it. Like, some people would be like, yo, just take a shower, like, just wash your face. Like, I wish it was that easy. I wish it was that easy. It's not. It's really not. So just think about that, because it really is hard to deal with that. And if you are going out and saying things about people with acne, come on, man, like, have some respect. Like, they can't control that. It's already hard enough to deal with that. Just leave them alone. Cut them a break. Just don't be that guy. Alright, that's all I really got for this episode of Toasty Time. If you're somebody who really suffers from severe acne, talk to your doctor, talk to your dermatologist, ask them about the drug, see what they say, see what their thoughts are about it. And if you think it's really worth it, man, go through with it. Definitely go through with it. It's worth it at the end. I mean, I couldn't be more happy with my decision on doing that drug. So yeah, that's all I got for this episode of Toasty Time. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time.